Okay, this is David Megank from the company Acsys, Acsys. Well, hello everybody. I'm here to introduce the solution from Acsys Technologies. We are one of the market leaders today in workforce management, especially the people who work on cell towers. Now, as we can see today, we can send a rocket to Mars and take a picture from Mars, but when you want to service a cell tower, you very often need to go to a different location, pick up a key, and then go to the site to do the servicing, and then bring back the key. We think that's a very archaic kind of way of working in this 21st century. So what we have designed is an electronic programmable lock and key system, whereby in fact the key can be remotely activated using an SMS or using a smartphone, thereby allowing a control center, a management company, or any organization to control any of its users' access to the site. So one of the problems that we have today with mechanical keys is that keys can be copied. Our key, fortunately, cannot be copied. It's impossible to duplicate. The second problem we have with keys, mechanical keys, is you don't know when they are being used and by who they are being used. We know that when they are being used by ill-intended people, this usually leads to theft. The other problem is that, of course, when you want the keys to be used because you cannot control when they are used, there are certain things such as preventive maintenance, scheduled maintenance, or emergency maintenance, which is not being carried out. The result of that can often lead to deterioration of material, can lead to downtime of sites, which at the end of the day always leads to losses. So our solution, which we have designed, is basically using any mobile phone. It can be just a simple phone, or it can be a smartphone, together with our electronic programmable lock and key system. So basically, if we look at a cell tower configuration, we usually always need to have access to a fence. Then we have a BTS shelter, which needs a lock, and then sometimes you have some additional equipment such as batteries, or in some cases some fuel tank and genset. Well, the problem is once the keys get copied or stolen, usually all of these locks need to be replaced. Thanks to the real-time key activation of our key, if a key is lost, nothing needs to be replaced. So that already solves a very, very big problem. The code that is issued is in fact a real-time code. So every user now has a key. Instead of having to go collect a key and returning a key, creating pollution and a lot of wastage of time and energy, every user has a key. Whenever the user needs to have access to a site, he goes to the site. When he arrives at the site, he either calls the NOC, or either he SMS to the NOC, or he uses his smartphone to contact the NOC and says through the smartphone GPS location that he has arrived on site. When he has arrived on site, the software will automatically issue him a single usage random code that he enters onto the key. When the code is correct, the key can be activated. In this case, you see it's red, so it could not be activated. And then the code that is issued is site and asset specific. The code only will work on the site where the work order, for which the work order was issued, and only will work on the locks which that specific person needs to do the maintenance on. So for example, if you have a technician which needs to service the BTS room, he will get a code that allows him to open the front gate lock and the BTS shelter. If you have another technician who needs to service the genset, the code that will be issued will only allow him to open the padlock on the front gate and the genset, thereby segmenting the access and making sure that only the right people can have access to the right kind of assets. So the immediate effect of this is, of course, reduced downtime. Today, sometimes you need to waste 2 hours to go collect a key. Meanwhile, that site is down. Now you can immediately go to the site. So that's the first big saving. The second big saving, no more changing locks because of lost keys, copied keys. The third big saving is that there is no more key management. Everything is done electronically. The fourth big saving is that inside the key, you also have a built-in memory telling you the last 1,000 times it was used, knowing when it was used, where it was used. And thanks to our software, you can reconcile it for why was it being used. Was it according to a work order, or was it just the person trying to get in by himself? So we have designed a solution whereby both the operator, tower company, and the vendor who needs to have access to the site are all winners.